This movie is proof that you need to be one crazy son of a bitch to want to go into a submarine. Das Boot! Released in 1981 and is directed by Wolfgang Peterson, who has also directed such films like The Never-Ending Story, Shattered, In the Line of Fire, Outbreak, and Air Force One. I love Air Force One, I just never bothered to learn who directed the damn thing. That's cool! And this film is starring... I'm gonna give it my best shot. I am terrible at German, and these are all German names, but I'm gonna give it a try. Jürgen Prochnow, Herbert Grönemeyer, and Klaus Wennemann. There are a bunch of other actors in this film, but those are the three real big ones, I think. And the reason why we are covering Das Boot is because it was a PayPal donation from some of my biggest supporters on this channel, Mr. and Mrs. Rusted Beetle. You guys strike again. Thank you so much for your donation. You are always there when I need you, and I'm always get excited when I see that notification that Rusted Beetles have chipped in again. Thank you guys so much. If any of you out there want to be like Mr. and Mrs. Rusted Beetle and help support this channel into growing it into something bigger than what it's been the last couple of years, you can make a PayPal donation by clicking on the donate button on the main page of my YouTube channel. Donate button is right there in the banner. Any size donation will do, and if you have a movie recommendation that you really want me to watch and don't want to wait through all of the random generator and random selecting, you can attach your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, give you a shout on the channel, and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can. Now that's out of the way, let's talk about these crazy motherfuckers and their little tiny boat that goes under the water. Das Boot, or as it translates into English, The Boat, yeah, Das Boot sounds better, pulls a German U-boat crew during World War II. The Germans have tried to set up a blockade, preventing ships and supplies from reaching the UK, but steadily over the years, the British have gotten much better at sinking these sneaky U-boats. This ship is inhabited by an older captain and a very young, green, and eager crew looking to take out some British destroyers. And surprisingly, what the audience gets is a look into a team of young men who are set out with a mission and fabulous ideas, but in the end realize what is actually important in life. And you have to put this film up there as one of the best war films ever directed and ever produced. And what's so amazing about it, it's that it's from the Germans' point of view. All of the World War II films that I've ever seen all come from the English side, or the American side, the side that I was on, because again, that's where I was born. And in school, in history class, I'm taught that the Germans, the Japanese, these were the evil people. These were the bad guys during World War II. And me being as impressionable as I am, when you say that they were bad guys, I want them to be defeated as much as possible. As you get older, though, and as you watch this movie, you realize that when it comes to war, really, there's no winning side. There's just a side that really concedes first, and that's it. There's really no side that is a victor, because anytime there is a loss of life or there is suffering on both sides, there's no victory there, sorry. And when you dive deeper into it, you kind of realize that their point of view is not that much different than our point of view. And before I get all the comments, I realize that these people in this boat are Nazis. I get that. But the nice thing about this film is that it doesn't linger on that. It doesn't really paint them as Nazis and goes into their values and what they believed in and all the poison and all the terrible anti-Semitic and racist things that were being fed into their minds from this Fuhrer. All this film really tells us is that these are Germans and they are running this submarine. They are running this boat. That is it. If they would have given us any more, it would have taken a lot to get a Western civilization like America or the UK to watch this movie and actually care about what they're seeing on screen. Because again, that's the amazing thing. I care about these people. I cared about this crew. And at points, I was thinking, God, I really want you to succeed. I want you to win. I want you to find a ship to blow up. The movie is presented, directed, shot, acted superbly. This film is amazing. Now, I got to watch the director's cut, which in the description says, hey, we've added 60 minutes of extra footage, bringing the total runtime to 3.5 hours. Damn it, Rusted Beetle. And they sent the recommendation in. I had heard about this film listening to podcasts, the Top 10 show. They talk about it all the time. They talk about how great it is. And I've always meant to watch it, but finally it's being recommended and I'm getting a donation for it. I'm finally going to check it out. It's 3.5 goddamn hours. I turned it on late at night and I saw that. I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm not finishing this today. Really, the aspect about this movie that is so well done and is so brilliant, and I want to know exactly how they did this, was capturing the crampedness and the claustrophobia of being in a U-boat back in World War II. How confining, how constricting, and how there's no place to go. You are in this tube, there is a metal casting over on your right, and then there's water on the other side. You can't go anywhere. If you spring a leak, you die. Which I knew is always an aspect of submariner life, but I guess I never really grasped it because you see all these movies about submarines, U-5701, The Hunt for Red October, really any Michael Bay film where there's a nuclear bomb on a submarine that they're shooting off, and you see these big, massive bridges and people walking around. They have plenty of room, and they can change different directions on a whim. I'm assuming that the technology and the architecture of building a submarine has improved since World War II, and they have gotten that big, but back then, it's basically like a small little larger than usual missile that these men are crammed into. And you see the captain's table and they're dining, but the crew is working behind them, so they have to ask permission to cross, and people have to move and shift, and everyone's bumping into each other. Sleeping quarters are cramped and all pushed together. The atmosphere, the aesthetic here is incredible. And the beards they start growing, the way their hair gets greasier and stringier, you can start smelling the BO just by watching this movie. Everyone who has been around a pubescent teenage boy knows exactly the smell and the hygiene that is happening in that boat when that's going on. This movie is one of the best films I have watched this year. This is pretty damn powerful. And I was expecting it to end a certain way, and I'm pleased to report that it's not ending how you think it's gonna end. I like that. There was no hope, and then there was hope, and then there was no hope again, and then there was hope again. I really enjoy that. This boat just can't get a break, though, that's for damn sure. If you are an American, if you are British, and the idea of watching this movie turns you off because it's about a German crew, please know that it's German crew by name. When you get into this aesthetic and you get into this atmosphere, all of that gets stripped away, and you just look at these people, as just soldiers in a war. It doesn't matter what side they are on. This is just the story that we're being told and the mission that we're going on. I think it does get a little cheesy, and it's very clear and obvious that they're shooting on a studio when they are on the bridge, when they're outside of the U-boat, and they're looking through their binoculars, looking around for destroyers and ships, looking through the periscope, and you see the water kind of bouncing up and down. I saw that from like the 60s and the 70s whenever you have a submarine show on TV. But I get it, you have models and you can only do so much, so I'm forgiving on that aspect. This movie is tremendous. The characters you start caring for, the atmosphere, the living arrangements are amazingly terrible, I guess is a good word to put, and it's a great story. It's a story about the ugliness of war, what it means to go to war, and how easily you can get lost in the idea of why we are at war in the first place. This is recommended viewing for anyone, really. This one will probably end up being on my top 10 films I reviewed this year at the end of the year. This film is great. Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Rusted Beetle, for finally forcing me to watch it. It was awesome. I'm gonna give Das Boot 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I think I see blue. He looks glorious.
Alright everyone, now because my favorite part of my video is where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next. And remember, all this month we are selecting from the list of all the recommendations that I've gotten from fans and subscribers over the years, so let's take a look, see what happens. Uncut Gems from Chris Jackson. Awesome. Thank you very much, Chris. I remember putting this one in here, and I know this is like from years ago, and you've really wanted me to watch it, I think right after the movie came out. I was wanting to say like 3 years ago. Finally getting around to watch it. Never seen it before. I heard Adam Sandler is great in it though. We'll check it out next time. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. Just attach your movie recommendation with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, give you a shout out on the channel, and get my review of it published as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, have you seen Das Boot? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Uncut Gems. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.